Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey, and today we are working on part 2 of our bandstand build. And I'm just so excited. The whole build has turned out fantastic. I could not ask for a better way to this build to turn out in the spacing. I know there were a couple times that I did wish now that this area would have been bigger, especially for the water features that I put next around the bandstand. Now I wish that would have been a little bit wider. And if you're following this and if you have the space, I would say yes, let's make it wider so we can have a little more of a pond scenario. But I didn't have much space to kind of go more sideways right now at the moment, especially on one side. So everything still turned out really good. I just been enjoying this build. I like the layout. I like using all the new items and everything that we got during the spring update. So what are we starting on? Okay, so basically where we left off in the last video, we mainly had the whole layout, right? The main walkways, the main design, the main water feature, where they're gonna be, and just how everything was gonna be laid out. So the only thing left that we needed to do in this video was to go ahead and kind of finish this waterfall fountain that we have on this side, so we can kind of match it to the one on the other side. So we just need to clean up this area, especially on the back. We need to kind of just bring a little more water, make it a little more round, put the water, the rest of the water that's supposed to be on top of the water fountain, and just kind of just do the whole layout and the design. So we're gonna see me going back and forth here, because since a lot of this was very spontaneous, I don't have it like written down on a notebook because the way I was building the other waterfall. If you remember the previous video, we went through a whole scenario, you know, that I went big and then I want to bring it small. So if this is the first video that you're watching, go ahead, I say stop it right now, watch part 1 so you kind of know what's going on, and then come back and watch part 2, because that way you get the full experience between these two videos. But yeah, but overall, so I do want to explain a little bit also, as I'm working on this little water fountain right here, is that there's gonna be a jump in this video, and I do apologize about that. I truly believe that I was recording, something happened during a specific recording session that I was doing, and the file was no longer there. I could not recover it, and that was about close to 2 hours of work. So I couldn't just restart the day anymore. I'm gonna get better at it. I'm gonna keep glancing and making sure that things are recording the way they're supposed to recording. But the good news is that most of that recording that I couldn't recover is just finer details. It's just a little bit detail here, a little bit of detail here, and what we did with the stairs that they're coming up from the two bridges that are connecting to this area. Besides that, that's the good news. It's not like I lost a chunk of the build and you guys can't follow. It's just a lot of the fine-tuning details that come at the very end of the video. So in that scenario is I'm thankful that I just lost that and not a big chunk of the actual build for you guys. Okay, so besides being that a little sad news when it comes to that part, let's get back to the video, let's get back to the build, and let's just talk about what we're doing. So the next thing that I wanted to do, I love the stone one, everybody knows that. I feel like it's bringing so much more texture to the build. So I kept going back and forth in my mind. Do I want this to be without rocks and just keep it as a pond, just more water, right? Or do I want to bring a rock formation? And this was a hard decision, especially even when I was off camera, just practicing, just trying to decide before I actually did it on the video. I liked it both ways, right? There was a element to it of just water, and it looks so clean and so nice, and it looked beautiful. But then you bring the rocks, and it also brings this texture, this element to the build. And I kept debating back and forth, but what I decided was, hey, it's the spring update still, we're still celebrating this update, and this build that I'm doing is, in a way, like kind of the conclusion of all the update of the build. We're gonna celebrate. I finally got the bandstand. We're gonna have fireworks at the end of the video, and I decided, you know what? Let's keep showcasing all the new stuff that we got during the spring update. So this is still part of the spring update. This is still part of the spring update showcase, and we're gonna keep showcasing all the new items, all the new flowers. So yes, so we're gonna do the rocks. We're gonna do a rock formation, kind of like what you see in one of my favorite places that I've been at a theme park. Is being Busch Gardens, and Busch Garden has like this sections of rocky gardens, flowers, and all of that. And this, I took that inspiration, the way that feel, and we went ahead and built it right here. And I ended up liking that texture a lot. So I think it did bring something to the build. It brings something to the element, and of course it's something new that we get to use and enjoy. So the other thing that I wanted to do is I want this finally slowly to make it feel like we got sections that are deep, that you can look down into the, when you look into the pond, it looks deep, right? I think the only downside is that even though I made it deep, and even though I went two levels down, so we can get some spawn of fish and to appear in the future. I believe between the rocks and the spacing, it's not big enough. So I don't think I'm gonna have any spawn. I still haven't seen any spawn of fish or anything like that spawning, and this is why I stated earlier before that I wish now I have more space to actually make this area, even with the rock formation, to make it more wider, so I have more water in between the rocks and the other side of the rocks. That way I could have natural fish just spawning in these sections here, and I think that'd be my only wish that I could do. So if that's something that you want, right, and you want fish to spawn, if you're making kind of like a pond or something like that, and you're following this build, then I do recommend, if you're not in that stage yet, or if you have space, then go ahead and make it wider, and then you just adjust the build as you go. So the other thing that I really wanted to do is, as you saw that I ended up putting marble there, I'm gonna put some of the new statues, some of the 2 new statues, or 3 statues I believe, the Doggo, the Freely, and the Croco statues. We're gonna put them in this bandstand build area, and I think that's also to showcase all the new items, the new statues, and I think it looks cool. And I love the crocodile one. I'm telling you, was the hard one. That one was the tricky one to do, because it actually is longer in spacing. So I wanted to, I kept playing around with it, and we're gonna see that in the video, but I ended up putting in a specific scenario that I ended up liking, and I think you guys are also gonna enjoy it, also gonna love it, and I think it just brings something even extra to the build. So I'm excited when we get to that point. But I'm not using a lot of marble, especially on this section on the bandstand. So we did the lily garden, right, that is in front of this the bandstand area, and that has marble. We use a little marble, so I did want the marble to stand out. I didn't want just cement where we're gonna put the statues, so I did put marble, and I think it does break that element. It brings the marble that is white and the cement statues, and that combination, instead of just being all cement, that there's nothing wrong with just being cement on the bottom and cement on the statue. It's just I wanted to bring a little bit more, right? That's always the thing. That's always what we want to do in the builds. Is sometimes we want to break things up. Sometimes we want to bring a specific color because everything is looking too green or too brown. So or maybe too much cement in the area, and we want to play around with it. And one of the best ways that I always like to do that is to look at real life. Start looking at parks, start looking at pictures of park or theme parks or anything like that, so you can see how they are kind of doing their layout, and designing, and the color scheming, and that will help you to start deciding how you want to approach it, how you want to handle it, and maybe you want to decide on what color scheme you want to go. You want to go warm, you want to go cool, and this is what I'm hoping in the future with the hibiscus. I want them to have a cool color, so maybe we can have some in blue, in pink, it's just in some cool colors, so then we can also use hibiscus in another form, so we can enjoy it, and just keep designing and just keep making this game even better. Okay, so now we're in the daytime. We're starting to look. So I'm still working on the left side, right? We want to get the left side done. See how the layout of the rock of everything is gonna be working before we jump to the right side. That's gonna be the same thing, right? We gotta put all those rocks and make all the design and all of that on the other side. So, and the great thing about this build is if you're following it and if you're doing it, it's basically what you do on one side, you're gonna imitate it on the other one. So you always gotta concentrate. And if you're making your own style of this build and you still wanna keep that symmetry going in many ways, then yeah, just go ahead and start. You tweak it whichever way you want, and whatever you tweak on one side, you can put it on the other side. And at the same time, you don't have to make a symmetry. You don't have to make the rock formations equally the same. The rock formation at some areas on the other side, they're not identical. Only basically the first half is gonna be kind of identical, and then as I get back into the back, there's gonna be a little bit of different. And I think for me that worked out better. And that was a choice that I did have to make if I wanted to make it completely identical, or there's gonna be a little bit of difference, you know, between one side and the other one. And I went with a little bit more difference. That way everything just works out great. Okay, so here we are still putting the rock formation. This side as well, we're gonna make it a little bit deeper because I just wanted to feel like we had some depth in the water. I think that was important for me. I just visually, I think it also brought something to the build, but at the same time I was hoping that we had some fish to spawn in this area. And like I stated, I still haven't seen it even after I finished this build and I kept looking in the water. And even though after researching I do have the right depth, I believe it's the spacing. The spacing is not big enough for fish to spawn. And if I'm wrong and I end up seeing any fish at any point, then I will try to update that and talk about it maybe in the following video, just so we know. But at the moment, yeah, I wish I could make this side now a little bit more wider, but you know that sometimes those are part of the builds. I am happy with everything that turned out. It's not like I feel like I'm truly compromising or upset. It's just I got so much on the left side that's connecting and heading towards the town hall that mentally it's not the right move to try to just change all that, because then I have the next river coming over. So in my build, in my scenario, in my situation, this build is good. You know, I'm happy. It's just I wish if I could have started from the very beginning and started just a little bit more towards the right, you know, maybe 4 more squares to the right. So then the middle of the sections here, there can be 4 more squares in the middle, and then I would have probably a bigger section for a pond. So yeah, so I mean that's my take, that's my thinking behind it, you know. And I know one day I'm gonna be doing another bandstand build, you know, because this is not the only one that I'm gonna do. We're gonna build multiple towns, multiple areas, multiple different designs. This is one design of the bandstand that I wanted to do, but I want to make another one. You know, as you're building, as we're decorating, you always get ideas, and I got more ideas that I wanted to do. A different take on the bandstand for a different type of theme, for a different type of element, and it's just, yeah, there's gonna be other one, and I'll be able to do better builds as we keep improving, as we get more items, as we keep thinking how to use the new items, you know, and what's capable in Dinkum. Okay, so now here we are. So now I'm duplicating the first part, and that's what I say, like the first half here, I am trying to make it equal to the other side, but then kind of going closer to the where the statues are gonna be, where the marbles are. Then that back side is kind of similar, but not completely. There may be a few rocks in different sections, and that's it worked out great. You know, it's rock formation, and sometimes we need a little bit of difference. But if you want to make it exactly the same, feel free. If you want to have a little bit of difference, and here's when I did a little bit of difference. Some of the beginning in the back side right here, I didn't start it the same, and it's just, I don't know, it was truly a feeling, because at first I was trying to imitate everything. As you see it, I'm imitating back and forth, but for some reason I decided just to start the very last part where it gets closer to the waterfall, just to do it just a tad different. it was a feeling. It's one of those things, and yeah, and follow your instinct when it comes to that. One of the things that I starting to notice is I'm getting a lot more comfortable with when it's coming to the rock formation. I feel like I am forming rocks quicker. I'm understanding like the patterns, what's the best approach. A lot of times the best way that I'm trying to approach it is kind of like you start making L shapes in the rock formation. I feel like making the L shape is being the best way for me to approach rock formation most of the time. It kind of curves a little bit, then you can decide what you want big, what you want tall, and then where to add the next rock. So then you can start feeling like the rocks are moving and just shaping in different directions instead of just being just super straight, super perfect. And of course, like always, rock formation is always gonna be a taste. You may like all of them high, you may like that perfect uniform rock look, and that's okay. It's just like waterfall, rock formations, there's not a right way and there's not a wrong way, because visually once you start adding them, you're gonna know if you're liking it. And as soon as you put that rock, you're gonna be like, I like this. And you put the next rock and you're like, I like this too. And that's the feeling that I want you to find. That's the feeling that I want you to have, and that's what I want you to keep using. I want that feeling to keep guiding you in your builds, in all and everything that is about Dinkum. Decorating is that happy feeling that you get when you're decorating and adding all the items that you want in your build. So follow that feeling and you will be completely happy with everything that you do. But here we are. So you see how the rock formation is a little bit different now in the very back, because I don't have the same amount of space when I'm warping around, because the other side has this other back waterfall, a little bit bigger, and that corner is just different. But like I said, it was more a feeling. It was just something that just kind of, I don't know, it was truly, it just clicked different, and I approached it different, and it felt good to do it. So okay, so now we're finishing, we're adding the next hibiscus at the very end. We kind of start matching slowly what we have on the other side, put it on the other side, and then we're gonna start making this the other section that also need to be in have the water in depth. So because it's just visually pleasing to me, it's to be able to see a little bit more depth in around this water. It just brings a kind of like a darker tone into the water, and I enjoy that. Now I have some people asking me, why do I not put path under the water, or on that way the water looks more blue or more green or anything like that. And at this moment, I always feel like I like the way it looks. I just like the natural feel of the dirt on the water. I'm hoping in the future, I think James has mentioned it a couple times in the past in some of the streams, that we're gonna be able to harvest some of the grass that appears on the rivers and stuff like that, and that's kind of what I want to use in the future. But when it comes why I don't put the pearl path under the waterfall or under the ponds or anything like that, it just, to me, it's not my taste, it's not my style. I truly enjoy the natural feel and the look of just the water with the dirt, and that's my taste. It's just, I truly just enjoy that. So, and there's truly nothing wrong, if you want the water to be more blue and you love the pearl path, you love putting the pearl path under the waterfall, so that waterfall looks even bluer. That's great, because it does look bluer, it does look better, and it's just, at the end, it's truly preference, and that's why I always say it's all about taste. My taste is gonna be different than yours, and what you like is gonna be different than what I like, and I know some other stuff that I do, not everybody's gonna love, and that's part of building, that's part of creating. It's like, we may like, I like this movie, you don't like this movie. I like this this car, you don't like this car. You like that car, I like that car, but I like it on this color and you like it on the other color. Because it's funny, you see vehicles out there and you see a particular color and you're like, who will buy that color? But somebody loves that color and buys that car in that color, because we are all unique, we are all different, and that's what makes, in a way, Dinkum great, because the inspiration that we get from all the different islands, all the different tastes, and then you see something that you never would have done, but then you see it, you like it, you try, you ended up liking it, because
it wasn't something that you would have done, but by seeing it in another island, you ended up doing it. And that's just great, you know, and honestly, that's one of the best things about visiting islands, watching other people streaming and playing the game, because truly, the taste of everybody is completely different, and what we like between colors, decorating, building, height, everything, you know, everything is always going to be unique to the person that's actually building and playing the game. But at the end, the creations that we make, we're always going to be on awe, even if we don't do it exactly how another person intended it, but then we tweak it. And that's what I want. I want that inspiration that you get from the videos. Even that's something that you will not do, but then you tweak it to make it work in your style. And that's the best thing. And lately I've been getting a few comments about that, and it makes me so happy when I hear that. Okay, so let's move on, because you know I'm in a little talking mood and I'm missing out. I gotta keep explaining what we're doing. Okay, so as you saw, if you were paying attention on the video, I'm working on the new statues, and what you saw is the Croco statue, right? It's just a little bit bigger, so I was trying to make it work, but then it's messing up my whole area in the front, and it's not working too well in the back. So what ended up is I kept moving things around, trying new things. As you see, I'm cutting now some of these trees. We gotta rearrange this a little bit better, you know. We gotta do a little more separation. Now they're too close, and all of that. And the Croco statue I ended up putting on the back. So as you saw, we put a little marble pillar section. We put the Croco. It kind of looks good. I still was not convinced 100% that's where I was gonna leave it, but that was the best place that I could find at the moment, until I had another idea. And that idea is what I really enjoy, where I ended up putting the Croco statue. So I grabbed the Croco statues, and because like you saw, I wasn't truly happy where I placed it. So I'm still thinking where to put this. And then it hit me, because I did it just a little bit over there and look good under the water, so it feels like there's a Croco right there. But I put it there. It kind of hides it. I didn't like it. I like the idea, did not like it. So so I'm still thinking. I don't know what to do with this statue. I'm just still trying to figure it out. I'm walking around and just trying to think. You know, it's like okay. I was in that mindset that I like how this look, just in the water, one level lower, so it looks, and it has the base part of the fountain. And then when I put it there, guys, I was so happy. That right there, I was just like, yes, this is what I want. I want this to look like it's just sitting on the water, you know, and it just brought, like, when you see it there in the background, it's just a Croco just sitting on the water, and I thought that was so great. So here, I'm changing some of the statues, so I'm gonna put the kangaroo in here. I originally had just the doggo, and I'm gonna bring the doggo one on this side, and then it's just gonna be then the in opposite directions, right? So the one in the front, if it's the frilly, then in the same side, the doggo's gonna be on the back, and it's gonna be kind of the same situation on the other side. So the doggo's on the front, and then the frilly's gonna be on the back. And then slowly, by adding these statues, by adding the rocks, we're starting adding slowly the flowers, just by moving some of the trees. We're starting just to place things together, just making those details to start fleshing out this build. And slowly this build's taking shape. It's feeling great, it's feeling uniform, and it's feeling that elegant, that's matching completely this area, this aesthetic that I'm trying to go for in this part of the town. And don't forget, I'm in the old town. This is no longer the coastal town. We're gonna get back to the coastal town. You know, I'm excited to get back to the coastal town. I got some ideas with the new sailboat and stuff like that. It's just everything has just been perfect to keep adding to the old town that I had in Dinkum. You know, it's just a different feel, and it's also been great being back in this town, because the feeling, the atmosphere, the design, the texture of everything in this town is so different than the coastal town. So it was a nice break. It's a nice time to be here. But I'm ready to get back to the coastal town, because I want to finish the coastal town, or get to a point that I feel like it's finished, kind of like what I did with the first town, because I want to start the forest town. But let's not get ahead. Let's just let me pause it right there, because you know I don't want to get too excited. But okay, so the next thing that I did right there, as you were watching, is I put the new flower boxes in, and they're tall, they're great, and I like it for some of the specific build. But here, I wanted that a little bit where I wanted to put these flowers, and these flower boxes worked out great because once you dig them down one level, it gives you that height that is lower than the brick or the other flower boxes, but it still stands out a little bit, right? And it's perfect. It's a perfect height, and I love it. And I'm glad that I was able to see it in so many people's channel, people's pictures, and just get that inspiration from you guys so I can apply it to my island. And I think it just brought such an elegant view to the build, and it just looks so great, and it fit perfectly in this build. Okay, so the next thing is one of my new favorite items, of course, is the lily pads. The lily pads bring something to the water, to the ponds. Not every section needs lily pads, but like I said, I'm still working kind of in a showcase kind of mood, showing the new items, showing what we can do with all the new items, with all the new everything, tools, everything that we get. So here we are, we're putting lily pads, and to be honest, I truly love the lily pads. They just bring so much more to the water when you're looking at it. And like I said, I do feel like lily pads can be tricky to place. I do feel like when I look at pictures of lily pads and their ponds are being taken care of, it's not the being overflown with lily pads. It's just having those small clusters together in a specific angle and way, and then having more water around. And having that, for me, of course, having that just in between, just having some lily pads here and there, and then more water, lily pads here and there, and then water. I do feel like it just blends so well, and everything just works out like perfectly. It just works out really well, and I'm enjoying the lily pads, and then adding the pink flowers in between there is just great. So now the pink flowers, I couldn't add as many, and I think it was also good. I kind of wanted to do it kind of like what I did with the lily pad garden area, but the pink flowers, I will have to like raise the dirt in sections that I wanted to feel like we have depth in the water, and I didn't want the flower just to be completely submerged under the water. So I can only place it in specific places, but it still brought something to the build that works out great. But I didn't want to just put them, oh, let me put a pink flower right here, unless like right there, I kind of hiding it in between the two lily pads, so it looks great, and I don't lose that depth feel to it of the water. So it was a compromise in between some sections, but at the end, you know, I didn't add it as many as I would have done probably if everything was kind of the same level. But yeah, it's lily pads. I love them. I think they feel great. They look great. It's just bring that extra greenery also to the water, and it's just the whole combination. Lily pads, such a great addition to the game, and a fun way to harvest them too, you know, to go to the mines and harvest the lily pads, and it's just completely fun. Okay, so slowly, so you see this back here, right? All that gets redone back there, and that's something that I did miss when I couldn't recover the video file, and all that's gonna be showing. So what we're gonna do is very soon everything is gonna switch, and we're gonna do a walk. But that walk is gonna be a lot longer because we're gonna showcase everything. I'm gonna try to explain the few things that I added, that I changed, and especially in that section right there when we have the stairs that I had to work and rearrange, you know. And of course I can't show it because the file, you know, I could not recover the file. But I'm gonna try to show it and walk it so you guys can see what changes happen. And they're not difficult. It's basically we kind of turn the stairs facing each other. We took the whole build down of that little dock section that we have right there, or boardwalk, or a little deck area, and then we made it more of a kind of like a little park feel to it, that it leads you into the bandstand, and that was my thinking behind it in that area. But once we get there, you know, and we're gonna walk everything and just look at it and just and I'm gonna try to explain the best that I can the process and my thinking behind it. Even though everything is done, I'm just gonna try to explain it the best way that I can. But okay, but we're still working on lily pads. We're still adding the lily pads, and And like I said, the best approach that I've been able to find about lily pad is kind of work in 3 or 4, but work more with the little ones and have a few big ones. I feel like when we put a lot of the big ones, it kind of overtakes, and I do like more like few little ones kind of going around the big one. At least I'm trying to imitate everything that I see in all these pictures when you put lily ponds and how they look. And if you look at it very carefully, there's a lot more little ones than big one. And I do feel like I'm doing my best to replicate that feel, and every time that I look at it, I do feel like I'm getting that realistic feel to it. Okay, so the other thing that I'm gonna be adding is these fountains. I wanted to add a little bit of motion, so when you're looking throughout the build, you know, and you're looking, if you're just looking at the area, you're gonna see this water, just this water fountain just throwing water up in the air. And I think just visually it just brings something extra again to the build, to the area. You may oversee it, you may not, because the way that I place the fountains is not front and center. It's not meant to be like, oh look, here's a fountain. It's more just for visually. If you're looking for details, if you're just looking around and you're like, oh look, oh wow, he added a fountain there, that's so cool. That's the feel that I want, that I'm trying to approach when it comes to that, you know. Okay, so and then in this area we're gonna use the fir grass, you know, we're gonna go green. I do feel like in this particular area we're gonna go with a little more greener. Most parks, most gardens and all that, they use the better grass, because I do like the yellow grass, and I do like the tropical grass. In my coastal town we're using tropical grass, you know. I want to create more areas that use different type of grass, and then outside of like places that you will think that they will have the good grass, I want to use like the yellow grass to bring a different shift in the element. And of course the grass is a big topic. A lot of people don't like the yellow grass, and a lot of people don't like the tropical grass. I like all the grass, and I like it to bring different feel into the builds. And sometimes the difference between going between the fir grass and the normal grass, the yellow grass, just to bring something extra, you know, from a little difference between one area and the other. And for me that's important. I want to keep doing that. I want to keep doing that in builds. Areas like it feels like this definitely would use the good grass, we want to put the good grass. Other areas that feels like it should be just normal wild grass, then I would use the yellow grass. And I'm in my coastal town, you know, it's a tropical feel, tropical area, and I want, when you go to those areas in my island, you know, when we jump to the tropical town, it feels different, you know, everything from the texture to the color scheme to the materials that we're using. I really want that those areas feels very different, and using another type of grass will do that for you, you know. And then when we go to the forest, when we do the forest town, that one's gonna be very heavy in green, you know. Is I'm already researching, I'm getting ideas, I'm looking at real live pictures, because forest towns are very green and very brown, and then I want to start bringing some other type of colors, some other type of decorating, what type of fence, what type of walkway we want to do. But I want the forest town to have that feel, like when you go there you're like, wow, this feels very different than the coastal town and this town that we have over here that uses a lot of brick. So in my mindset, you know, all the grass, I love all the grasses. So if I got a couple fans out there that love tropical grass or love yellow grass, hey, we're all together. But I know a lot of people just love the fir grass, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful grass, it really looks good with anything that you do, so I can see why people love it. And yeah, but you know, for this build, inside the build, we're gonna use the good grass. We're gonna use the fir grass because it just makes sense, right? It's a bandstand, it's a park. I mean, you will figure people, you know, take care of the grass. They're gonna use the best grass because this is a place where it's just people get together, you know. And most park got the really good grass, you know. But okay, so we're still working on detail. We're still adding the final details that we have. I've been adding some of the new flower pots around the bandstand. I kind of like that idea. It just brought a little bit more depth and a little bit more color. I was having too much green and I needed a little bit, and I love this one in red. the pot is so beautifully. And then I was trying to design in the back, and I wanted to decide what I wanted to do here, and I kept going in a circle. I ended up liking this, but also that changes slowly too, because we're gonna add a marble bench in the back of the bandstand to imitate kind of the front, and all that worked out great. Everything just started working out together, working out beautifully, and now we're just working on these final details, right? It just keep adding the things that will make this build feel more complete, more together. But slowly, as you see, and look at that, it's just slowly coming together. Everything is looking more elegant. Everything is just matching the build, the aesthetic, the flow. Okay, so here it's sketch day. Here we are. We're gonna see everybody, and this is the part that I'm excited, because that was the whole goal. And like I said, I do apologize that my video, I couldn't recover it. I couldn't recover the section that I needed, but we're gonna start. So here are the two stairs. They're gonna meet each other. I started using this little tin fence right here, and that's something that I'm still trying to decide. But this area is kind of meeting together. There's everybody celebrating. I made this little walkway right here with all the new planters and all of that. And check this out, guys. It's working out the way that I wanted. I wanted to have enough space. I want everybody to feel like they were walking, like this is a community area. We have benches everywhere. You're gonna start seeing the NPCs just sitting in different areas, just walking around, interacting with each other in multiple spots and area. And I just fell in love with it. It was just amazing seeing everybody just celebrating, walking around. And I feel like they're just like, hey, this is awesome. This area's built just in time to celebrate. And it's just together. Here's Franklin sitting on the bench. And it's just everything started working out together so perfectly. So just look at everything. I added a couple more, just more greenery around the area. And if you see in front of the statues right there, I added a fountain, but I buried it 2 down, because I just wanted just the little water just to show in the front, just to bring a little bit more of the element. Okay, so we keep going around. As you can notice, I got some bird bath. I got some extra planters in different areas and corners. But it's just this field, this area. Guys, it's just, when you have something in mind, when you have a goal, and you want things to work out, and you have a vision, and you're envisioning, the whole time that I'm building this, I'm envisioning all the NPCs just being here, gathered together, walking around, just having a great time, like in real life when we go and celebrate in our town for a big event and everybody's gathering together. That's the feel that I wanted. I wanted this place to feel like you have enough space to celebrate, enough space to walk around, a beautiful area that everybody can celebrate, and then a wide open sky. So when the fireworks come, it's gonna look so beautiful, so wonderful, and I just love it. So here, the back entryway, this is what I have right now. I think this back way, we're gonna be tweaking it more and more in the future. I do have this little entryway over here. I kind of want to do a little picnic blanket section right down here. I think it's gonna look very nice, and we're gonna work that as we work in the future, because you saw the bank right there. All of that is gonna get redone. All that has to be reworked again. But for now, that's the future project. But here we are. This is the other entrance, and you see how kind of they're meeting each other and then going down. And I put all the red planters just to bring a little bit more color against the brick, just to feel that. I love using this camera view just to get another feel of the area, of how everything is just working together. And I've loved seeing all the NPCs, just seeing them celebrating, walking around. Now they're eating. They just, look at this. They're just talking with each other, but at the same time, the view in every angle, as you're just walking around and feeling this area, is just, I love it. I truly, I'm more surprised the way the outcome came out, and how everything worked out so good. Here is an aerial view, how everything will look from the top, and as we just walking around and all of that, just how the bridges, so how everything is just kind of connected, the fountains. There's the lily garden right there in the front over there. It just, the whole area works. There's my clock plaza on the other side, and it's just, like I said, I'm so happy that everything worked out the way that it worked out. I'm happy that the NPCs are enjoying the area, just walking around, having a good time, and they all stay in this area, and they're using the whole area. I wasn't sure if I made it so big, how far would they walk and all that, but it worked out perfect. Perfect for me, perfect for my point of view. I love this view from the bank, from this area. And that was one of the reasons, if you watch part 1 of this build, we took out that whole waterfall down, because we wanted to see that bank, that view from far away of the bank area, just right there. I like this view over here. You can stand right here, you can see across the river and see the town hall and see everything, and then when you're from that side, you see all of that too. And it just, I'm testing, and you know me, I like to check all the angles, all the view, everything that I design. I wanted to have a purpose. I want to be able to see my builds and have a purpose in all these different angles so we can enjoy them. So it just is visually pleasing in any direction that you come. And then at nighttime, you know, it was hard to work on the lights. I had to go back and forth different times. I did replace some of the lights with garden lights in specific places, so not just everything is so bright, but the firework display, the mood that is displaying, how everybody just still here, and it's not that bright that you can still feel the fireworks and the light just hitting the ground, but it's not dark that it's just, that's all you see. So it just worked out great. And the firework display it's just everything that I wanted. I wanted this area to feel like you can just view the fireworks in any direction. You will have this open sky, and it's great. And there's cover clapping, and it's just amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. When I got to this point and I got to this night, I literally called my wife and I was like, honey, you gotta see this. It's just everything, the whole goal that I wanted. And look at this. When I stand back, even back here, bandstand, firework display. I mean, it's just beautifully amazing done. I love the way he made the fireworks, that you can see it from any angle. Depending how you're looking, you will see the fireworks, and it's just amazing. I love how the NPCs, you know, they start looking up, they start looking at the fireworks, and it's just beautiful. That's what I wanted. I wanted this area to be an area for celebration, an area that where we can all enjoy the fireworks and display, and all the NPCs can gather together. I can't wait for more activities that are added to the game to celebrate just different things, to have more celebration than just one day. Maybe we can have multiple celebrations throughout the year, so areas like this can be utilized more, and we can see all the NPCs just together and just having fun, you know. And here's another view of the fireworks. And guys, you know, what more can we ask? What more can we say? What an amazing update. What an amazing way to finish displaying, showcasing the spring update. We're finishing with fireworks, the bandstand, and just enjoying. This is an amazing update, amazing game. Everybody just enjoying, and everything that we can create in this world is just fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to hit a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and we'll see you next time. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.